Abusia 4 years and mama kwa basonko but counseling time with counselor DY Donkoh. Answer na no kai hunu se counselors books miensa no ni nyina ewo dwaman so wo ne books miensa ono ankasa atro a kire se wo ewo dwaman so amanfo frɛ busa amanfo srɛ ne ebe ya omu nyina ansa beka bi makacho se books no baby a wo bia no wonsa ebetimi aka de hia ne se numbers no na watimi afre pepepe se ne ebe ya wonso wonsa ebeka bi de din kan no red flags signs your relationship has no future and on the first book counselor Etroy second book no another awesome book or say the good marriage guide roadmap to a successful marriage the good marriage guide roadmap to a successful marriage. That's the second book. Third book no which is always my favorite daddy day nyina meka wanse mo say 2 hearts 1 journey beyond the vows. 2 hearts 1 journey beyond the vows. Numbers no 02445544 0244515544 and I say 055-425-0129. Can you say delivery comes at a cost na wonso wonsa etimi akawodie pepepe. Our quote for tonight is a very interesting one because topic no die ebubu na nyasem ketwa. Inti our quote for tonight says when a woman wants to see you winning, she becomes a partner instead of a problem. That's our quote for tonight. When a woman wants to see you winning, she becomes a partner instead of a problem. Coming home na yema counselor akwaba sonkokora. Counselor.
Yes.
Ma akwaba.
Mejoso.
Na pomoe.
Na miado.
Ye de nyankopon ase. And that topic no very interesting. It says reasons submission makes you strong in relationships and marriages. Reasons.
Wow. Submission.
Right.
Makes you strong in your relationship and marriage. Now, I want to define 2 things, humility and submission.
Right.
Yawa humarasie and yawa brehwase.
Okay.
So let me explain. Edu awade ene meka na wade nhyehyeye mu empratwe mu a nyame pese ye nyina ye brehwase. That is humility. But the brehwase submission from biblical standard, then we are actually talking about women.
Right.
So, in the biblical context, a man cannot submit, but a woman must submit.
Right.
But then also the man must love to cover the submission. If I am to speak as a Christian, as a man of God, from biblical standard, when we are talking about raising submission makes you strong in your relationship and marriage, then I want to say that it looks more like and Rebecca Safa woba humbrase eti hwi no yewo brohwase and yewo ahumbrase. To submit is a command, it's not a choice. Right. Yeti asemfiri wo say eti onyameka say woba be submissive to your husband. He's not saying that yes you are going to submit to become a slave. He's trying to say that there is one person who is higher than you, placed over you. Now you need to accept it that God has made a command and you have no choice. And so it is not like humility. As a matter of fact, humility is a choice. Right. But to submit is not a choice. It is a command from God. Right. But submission once you are a woman, you need to understand that we be to submit. And so and then if we are talking about submission making you strong in a relationship, I personally want to sit here and say that I say okay. And shut down if we are to talk about humility, and then we can say that even though our submission, once again, it bottles, or it limits us to our conversation. Right. Now, I wrote something, I said, submission is God's design. Okay. Not just say, bro, se she will be aseno, e yo nyame botaye ni na adwene mu po.
Okay.
Now, I want to say this. Biblical submission isn't abuse. Let's understand that when God says to a woman, submit, he's not saying that the man should abuse you. And God is not also saying that once you submit, you are to be abused or you are being abused. Maybe say, "Waba bre no ho ase, ehye be ma se a, eno nkire sese be why mesere mo. Waba no na adwene, ehye da nya adwuma." Sebe, she ka se mo America say sebe you sebe as we Jimmy. No, e ye wonyame botae ne se wo bre ho ase na me do wa yem ye numiriketo a ye kono ya beko.
Right.
Imagine two captains in the same house. Or imagine two contractors trying to build a house, a home, a farm. Imagine, we'll be at the scale, the way of thinking, the parting way of doing things. Yeah, they were just what? We'll be at the empha. Because maybe the air chin, oh dear, also the air chin. So, in the wisdom of God, God says that the man must love. Even though you are the head, the woman submit to the man. It doesn't mean that once the woman is submitting, the man should make the woman a slave or abuse her. Now let me say this. If your husband allows you to submit, which anyway you must submit, I was going to be asked, now ukuru no, I will yet train dini. Listen and understand that even though the man is the head and he carries authority, no job say bro wants to say ni entrance ya dina why any so interest be man wajimi. And I will explain why. A lot of women who are to submit in a way want to also have the same shoulder with their husbands.
Right.
When you see a woman who tries to fight a man, the man tries to rule, then it makes the woman feel like I'm a slave. But the woman who understands the roadmap of submission, understand that submission is strength, it's no weakness. I come back. Submission is strength. It's not. The more submissive a woman is to a man, the weaker the man becomes, and the more the man loves the woman. And so when you see a woman who can actually exchange words, fight the husband, trying to prove her right in a relationship or marriage, you are going nowhere, because then at a point the man gets tired and say, "Umume." If we are talking about reasons of submission, that must make you strong. Understand this. The more you submit, the wiser you become.
Right.
Every woman watching me should understand this. We are oba yebe wadu ntibeka impranchie anambeka no courtship or dating. We are oba wa wadida. The more submissive you become, the wiser you become. Can I say this? If you cannot take instruction, you'll be limited in terms of affection towards your husband. Eti wababia wabre no wase would oda nyang said. Eti shade bema ko ni body no wabefia waba wabre no wase. Simple one kasa wabre no wase asha wase. Once a bema na kasa, the conscience start judging him. A man can actually say sorry when he has not even confessed, because of the submissiveness of the wife. And so when you see a woman who can actually hold the neck of a man, fight the man toe to toe, mouth to mouth, head to head, hand to hand, you see that that man tries to rebel the marriage or rebel in the marriage. Because I feel like and nothing Africa don't want any people be free. A member of Africa shem maso. Yet done no monqua, ever matter was ye boom. And then baby Sufri said, "Oh, bro, what? How she obre wa ohwasi bebere ehye bemasia obusi wajim." It's not true. Submissiveness reveals the strength of a woman and how wise she is. The next thing we can do is that the more submissive you become, the more you grow, and correction is easily accepted. The more submissive you become to a man, the more you grow as a woman. It will say, "Wa baby a wa bread one sisha bemasibia wonyini in maturity." Onyini mentally, onyi emotionally. The more brain was no osia de, but arrogant. Oba wa ya homaso ni dwa osia de, o kasa no yi ano. Ena oba bi o very submissive. It gives you the opportunity that whenever there are matters arising in the family, we can easily solve the problem amicably.
Right.
Yemre. The entire yemre they say oba obere no wase wan kasa bibiri utie bibiri. She listens more than talking. Eti woba wo brɛ no wase na hoɔden ba ko ne sɛ ye ma akonya bɛda ne ho sɛ when there is an issue and we need to correct the woman or even the woman has to correct the man listens because sɛ the oba no dwo no ɔkasa beti onye wurudu onye dwe transam no kasa me hiaw kobo bi ho be se me kobo no it's like kwadwo pa chwe betimi no akasa o say asabai o de be ma egoistic man asabai kobo so kwadwo tobo can we talk Charlie ti conscience mu na dwe bu for but abonti su kukuti to tra was metie so tobo calm down and raw pay 1 month last week we say last 2 weeks we say last month to crack and say as sir we are very sorry see submission makes a man become more humble to the wife.
Okay.
And so it gives an opportunity for a man to be corrected and also the woman you grow through submission. And I want to say this. Submission makes a woman tone calmly. The tone of a woman. T-O-N-E. Tone. Waba wabre no wase de kasa nyaya. Sister, me say reason why submission is important in relationship and marriage. Oba wayi obre ne ho ase. Enya oba wabre ne ho ase. O hye. Ha! Obi na no kasa be ma wo. Bible say a soft answer takes away anger. Even the anger of a king. But you oba na no ya de obebre. Na sa asem ya be kan ye papa bia woni ma 1000 try.
Right.
And what children was oba ana no ya. Ah, me so obedi watam obedi na no ya ma wanya wo betete wa ma beda nkyɛnse dan so. And so let's understand that woba obrɛ ho asehye be ma ase submission woba no the tone of words in some obebie na no wo bɛka no it encourages, it doesn't break a man. It stirs the man's up, it motivates him, it inspires the man. Ma be ma ni mbubunsu be kona be ma kontrampala ne bete kukuruku shede busu adea ne iraka asema she no ye bema. So submission is so important that it touches the tone of your voice.
Okay.
Or your words. The next thing we can look at is that the more submissive a woman is, the more the woman can foster peace in his marriage. Woba wo bre no ho ase a wodwo ho da bia somdwe woni fie. Na asumdwe woba wo bre no ho ase fie Valerie da bia woba no wosere wonsu. Woni awreho ade be ma no ma na asumdwe sanse wonye woba wo ha adwene. Oba wo ha adwene ni kuntan da fie. Woba wo ha adwene ni kuntan pempena eya ade pa enye wakope. Wo ha adwene woba wo ha adwene ni kuntan ni ndi da achen komo. Because we have journey. So you cannot actually create an atmosphere of peace in the house. Even if there is argument, the way you go about it with submission. Oh my God. In fact, at the end now, the way you submit it, the way you put it, you send your back to offer, and you do bear manocram, say, the cocoa crown or they bar unto me. Now, the idea, Obeka Sabe, instead of peace, we are broken into pieces. We're creating an atmosphere of submission or submissiveness. So, we're create an atmosphere of foster peace in his marriage. Or dane into Kwasumji, or dane Areho and Niji. If I baby or one, the road to be Kakwane. Okay, I'll reach or your helper, or to say your missions of Gongoro. Send your no beka sending come on, oh, crowd when you beka. The same tone that the first person the man picks a phone and call is the wife. Adaya, and then the girlfriend, the fiancé, I will say, Adaya, blah, 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 no, no, casa. Also, come on, Kabu to him. Yametias, Bibia Bay fine. I said, I kind of went to you, Utiemi, Utiemi. I never have a friend. But I'm mean, me who hang up. No. So when we are talking about raising submission makes you strong in a relationship, then we are telling our sisters that submissiveness or submission foster peace in marriage.
Peace in marriages.
In fact, submission has the ability to make conversation easier and lighter.
Okay.
Submission or submissiveness has the ability to make conversation easier and lighter. Yeah. Oba wo bre no wase be makra ka asem na tie anwa o de chentem wa ka kire be man se ekwadwo kasa ne bi ka se ya yen kasa nkire oba sa be man se ish shall sorry. It makes conversation easier and lighter. Ade e wo se ahomaso ni dwe se no submission bre ho ase ema ade kro ne yeyi it can actually repair it.
Right.
And so when you see a woman who is very submissive, her conversation is easy to absorb. Yeah, on komobo. Sin komobo. Oh, pro. Big grand common, maybe an common and wash. But some oh, promise you on komobo tobo. Did we call them one nearbo? Woo! To be money painting or some see a call them. I said, sing. Eh, as I will know to you na ufamichi. Eh, give a message. Eh, miku. You're in your mom. And I've seen it. I'm hurt, but it's okay. The next day, trust me, you're going to go shopping. But sister, you know, hey! Brother, he was hey, not to buy. Hey, hey, yeah. And what's she? Now, so, oh, bro, once you have to bear my how you go about issue can make the man rather become more humble to your submissiveness.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the problem is that a lot of women don't even know how to control their emotions. True. They easily get hurt, offended, and so BBS instead of say they will control their emotions to handle the issues well. Before na gig. The man was yeah, they be and but look at the way my wife handled the issue. Gig. No friend ma me friend nia na wadwane akonia no wura no akasa gosa no. It is submission makes you strong in your relationship. Right. It makes conversation easier and lighter. Submissiveness or submission can make the two of you solve issues faster.
Okay.
Say obane jo why mere what da formal it asema akokakra you are not afraid. And asem na esia obane ye obi a wote ase otie ukasa no wi a wakasa enye de wokasa na oba finfin ni bi no. Onye no bi. So submissiveness or submission actually make the two of you solve issues very fast. In fact, let me say this to the women who are watching. Submission can make your children find it easy to approach you. Pride and arrogance will make your children love their father than you. And they are always scared of you because they know that they are one team. Now, the lion of the tribe of Judah. No. The more a woman submit to a man's authority and treat the man well, the same treatment goes for the children. She doesn't abuse. You see, I've said this several times. But see, there is a way to train children and there is a way to abuse children. In Africa, we abuse children. We don't train children.
Okay.
Ana papa shene bufu ana wa papa ka se mi me ahye no ti kwala ni nyina mo wu enopa no se na mboko school no wa abuse mo mentally, emotionally, physically, mathly baby abuse mo ti kwala di go school na they are broken at like why? Because mommy is angry. And so most mothers out of anger and bitterness towards the father abuse children. They don't train children.
Right. But the same Bible talks about sparing the rod and spoiling the child.
That is where discipline comes in, not abuse.
Okay.
Difference to discipline a child and also to abuse a child.
Right.
You abuse a child and it affects his emotions. You discipline a child and that child, you boost his confidence. So one day we'll talk about parents and children, how to train them. I'll talk about it. Can we go?
Yes, sir.
What pride was shut? My submissiveness was left.
Okay.
Eti adia ahomaso eti me be fie na me no obeka ma ahomaso si me kwan. It shut it. But when you are very submissive, it opens a door for me to hear. Can I say this to every woman watching me now? A lot of men lie to their wives because their wives are full of themselves.
Right.
And me ma what be into me no ma yere monko mopa. Obo chat for because obeka no kure ne yiri be page no kure no e dey akọ the next level.
Right.
And a lot of men actually has changed because of who their wives are. And be my father and forward bonting instead of the yere. It is not the right thing. But it is so because the wives, most of them does not give us that room to operate as a husband. The assembly can be fully. Assembly person in the Donkoh, but the way she will act and become bitter and sad to no any men kakra. And so submissiveness or submission, it shuts our emotions as men. But rather it opens us as men. Sorry, but pride shuts us up. It's all your banner, you're arrogant or you're full of yourself, pride. You don't allow us to flow with you in conversation. Am I making sense?
Yes, sir.
To share boyfriend, one in the tier, or you try to take your time and find out. The woman might be the problem. So we are not saying the lies are good, but we are saying that if you don't avail yourself through submissiveness, send your baby benya kwando abonko man, they be obetwa outro because when you say one obeke, one year did you obey hit, 1 year to be offended, 1 year offended, we will be a man. So then I won't tell you at all. I prefer to speak to somebody out there than you.
Okay. Wow.
Submission or submissiveness keeps your marriage from falling. Submissiveness. It keeps your marriage from falling. Alaya, awade bebre gu ye dwane ahantan ye free mabio. De eya wo ba ho ne se wote awade ase, wa wunjai, enso ni suban. We are tete ma be ma ne kra. That is why a lot of men do not go home early. Apart from maybe a semi or you're argumenting one coffee. Most of them don't go because they don't find the reason why the home is not a peaceful place.
Right.
For them to have rest after tiredness and after going through the tough times they go through, you know, out there. And to all baby fear, they say bad na again. Or no muna. Na me my brain. Me be pe obi ajiji me ni am be ya wa say muna. Me say pride goes before distraction, falling.
Right.
So submissiveness, saves your marriage from falling. Oba wo brain was say na what the chance and the good news so da. Etete no hwe ma menom. Sabe why? O papa wade ba akwa wade mi yenu wade mi enza wade nai wade num. Still yire penity ho. Papa ne sori ya no bi fie o title na pa o yire penny nchen enya kwala nchen. Eya hwe. Papa ba nifo wade dodo. Adwene ngini ba fie a wo pe obi ni na di nkomo kwa yire penny ho. Onkop ketwa ho. Company was asema ba wo kra ketwa. Wa yesi. Na oba ne mbe sawo na ape. Sawo na ape. Obi sima se ko fanum. Ba cho membe tete ma me so menwene me. Da bi o. Osesa ntie ba ne sen. O ka bi osesa ene next time bo kɔ ne ho a. O twe kora ne so tufupa. Ahombrase. Na mafo da bi. Wanche wo kora sa wo twe mpro suspect wa mane nkra. Jankrat what da. Now anya lucky. No say nya girl for ne no madea and then submission adane war. So submission or submissiveness can actually keep your marriage from falling.
True.
So open so what the gina say wo ba pa misro bre ho ase. Bre ho ase. Fa hombrase yesom bema because it's a command. The next thing we can talk about is this. It keeps the two of you from wasting time. One issue that we could spend 1 hour talking about it. You bet me the 2 minutes akasafa ho. When you are the good dia, wa ba no, o yenti ase ni ba.
Right.
Submission. Bro ho ase. Me bre me ho ase. Di wa ba na asem nye dene. Me ma ne tena che papa. Me hu be ma wo ba dwaman. No wa ba to be catch na yere se ko asem ba. When we do go anye you. I said, oh, why did you do that? You've really hurt. I'm sorry. What can I do to patter you? Wana be mana ye gift wa third time. Me say, oh, you repenia, you couldn't see that chenwa. Me make us unya yanka artist no. Now the pain the woman has gone through, yeah, they want 2 or 2 days. Ubobudia.
Until nature say cancer submission is equates pain.
The truth is that any woman who is very submissive can conquer pain. Why? Because submission does not even allow pain to enter into your house. Ask men who are men. Ask men who are men. Good has asked them. So, ubetumi show yere very submissive. Akwedibo ntumi da. In fact, come be fie. Enye se wa chew. Obehuru now. Now ba no wadi bo nanimu ahụ. We am show. Say, my wife doesn't deserve that. She's too good. She's a good woman. No, this woman, no, Charlie. Charlie. Then you go your friends tell them say Charlie, my yard be a tiame. So what? But people they do Charlie, my yard dear Charlie. She doesn't deserve that. The woman is good. Charlie, what's on now for you now worry? Why? Because the woman does. So when you can submit to a man's authority as a woman, you are very calm. Very calm. Trust me, even pain will not come. There can be challenges in marriages. Right. Normal. There can be disagreements. Normal. There can be arguments, the heated one, so that we can repair. We can actually identify each other's weakness and know. But say, yeah, be better. Because Beman cannot look at you and hate you. He already feels bad doing it. To submit is to think before you talk.
Right.
So any woman who submits to a man's authority, the first thing she does when there is an issue, and they say, Asema Miko King, is it going to be helpful? Asema Miko King, is it even important? Asema Miko King, is it going to build or tear the family apart? Trust me. Your baby or you're very submissive. Kai. On sorry, as I know, Kasano to fun. A pride, wafra submission or submissiveness. Fra. Submission from a woman makes it easy to forgive your spouse. If you share about you're very, very, very emotional, most of such women, it is not easy for them to submit to a man's authority.
Yeah.
Essay.
Of course.
I'm telling you, be booking be red flags, bro. And so, what submission or submissiveness does for a woman is that it makes it easy for her to be able to forgive the man's mistakes. And to about your calm. Me say why offending the crown and ajo o san kono and no credit because the baby make love to me. Why offending us make love to me? Pacho sada no be love and non love. But say why come say like look, are you human being? Me say obemanity are you normal? No, but are you not hurt? Because I'm really hurt, but you make love to me. If Charlie. And no about it to me at the end when I say mean you. Mean di. Dear my we. And where the ane. Ajwa me see me also di over my mean di be no it was me see me di. Because they were yen in your man no. Bema no I know that they ma bema so be the body on it. And the last one. It pleases God that a woman submits. Why? Because it allows God to move in your home. It pleases God that a woman submits. Why? Because submissiveness allows God to move in your home. Why? Because God rejects the proud. Waba wa brand once with nyami befi. Waba oya humbrasieni. I'm sure the nyami befi. Waba na nyami tifio. See, God does not dwell at the place where there is confusion. Nyami nye bida. Tino se can two work together except they agree. To wa yiri di kuru mumu nye ba kwa nyami on trefi o da oba no pa bompa ye say bi gina ka kiro se nyami on ti be ma no boss na mpa na ye basa abusia na ye basa na kwa say we are trying to adjust to each other. I say manya wari e me ye the day. I am funny say entrem sa ekopim da ye bewu. So it's like I'm trying to manage. No. If fear wo ba e de na hombrase ye hye be ma tumi ase. Oh, me catch or the nyame abefi. If you are to nyame wo. But oba ye dwane anta opa mu nyame fifi. Intende de baya, we came to talk about raising submission makes you strong in a relationship. Thank you.